Welcome once again to The Last Birdling, a visual novel by Invert Mouse, makers of other visual novels like Unhack Me and Within Without series, I think that was what it's called, and Cursed Sight. I played it last time. We were introduced to Bimonia, this bird lady with the pink hair, and Tayo, this lady with this girl with the black hair, the flowery dress, and she was good with a bow. So let's get back into it. If you didn't watch the last episode, they had met and left. It was told from the perspective of Bimonia, and now on Tayo's perspective. My steps feel extra light as I hurry back towards the village. Even Mother, like the rest of our town, believes birdlings are extinct, but I alone have seen proof to the contrary. The Last Birdling, you can kinda guess what it's about. Fear not, Bimonia. There you go. Your secret is safe with me. If I told the village I had seen a birdling, the townsfolk would march in with pitchforks and torches. And torch this forest by sunset. Bimonia, I remember that name. She tried to tackle me, which is fair considering the history of our races. I wonder if Bimonia and I will ever grow to trust one another. Should we ever meet again, I hope Bimonia will open up to me more. Though she may be a tad grumpy, I have faith. There's an adorable creature behind that facade. I envy Bimonia's feathery hair, but too bad it is tangled with twigs and leaves. She has no clue what a toothbrush is, and I would wager she has never heard of a hair wash. Normally, birds are very cleanly creatures, I thought at least. You always see them playing around in little bird baths and grooming themselves, so maybe Bimonia is just has bird features and the laziness of a human. At least today I taught Bimonia how to freshen her breath with mint leaves, and she has so much more to learn. For once, I feel like an older sister, which is a thrill I yearn to experience again. I must set an example for Bimonia. So that older sister hints that maybe she is a younger sister? That said, heavens knows if we will meet again. I have offered Bimonia a rabbit, not out of kindness, but to keep her on my good side. Next time, one wrong word and we may slice at each other's throats. I find that interesting because Bimonia sniffed her and didn't smell iron, so maybe she next time would come with her. Oh, this isn't interesting. Those are fleur-de-lis, and that's like a lion. These are very European symbols. At least I think. I haven't seen such things in what appears to be feudal Japanese imagery. Of course, this could be Japan in a more modern setting, Japan was very traditional in stylistic and, clothing and architect all the way up to, I think, the 1800s. So, it could be as late as that, in which case there would be some, European influence. Especially if this is one of the towns. Oh, was it in Kyushu, which was one of the few towns that was allowed to actually deal and trade with Europeans during Japan's self-imposed isolationist period. Songbirds, gossips behind each other's back. Okay, whatever. Whenever I return from the forest, I would realize we have destroyed countless trees to build the houses. Yep, that are to our village. Now that I know that those trees came from Bimonia's home, it only makes things worse. Some villages have planted flowers as if to repent, but their scent is swallowed by the stench of chimney smoke. The villagers give me the side eye as I stroll by. And I like that kind of side eye as I stroll by. As usual, it perturbs them to see a child with a dead animal in hand. Not to worry, as I have grown used to their ignorance. They can keep to themselves and I will do the same. Kind of a good way to live, People don't like it, then keep to themselves. Don't bother them more than you have to. A scrawny woman with unkempt hair. Unkempt. Yeah, that's weird. I saw this the other day. Unkempt and unkept. They're both words that mean roughly the same thing. Can't remember exactly, so maybe I should just ignore it and continue reading. She looks and smells more like a ghoul than a human being. Can't do a voice. Too early in the morning for that. Tayo, your mother sent you out to hunt again? I nod, and the woman shakes her head. You should play tag and catch bugs like normal kids your age. Tell your mother to loosen up. I answer with a smile and trot off on my merry way. Grown-ups always protest when they see kids with a brighter future than their own. I cannot let them bring me down to their level. As for the village kids, it would be best to keep my distance. Case in point, the boys catch their farts and hurl them at girls for attention. Spare me, thank you kindly. There's some weird, like, southerner phrases that this Tayo character seems to use. It's weird to me, you know. Maybe it's kind of, I don't know, make it look like a hillbilly, but it's very like formal southern phrases. So maybe it's meant to be like time period things, or maybe to make her seem more uptight or proper, like a proper lady. Mother is my role model, and she's the only person that I need. If I can grow up to become like her, a lonely childhood is a fair trade. I cross the bridge and arrive outside my house. At last, I can be free from the villagers' judgment. I stiffen my already straight back to look presentable in Mother's presence. Once I feel ready, I open the door and step inside. Here's the door creak. I don't know if you could make it out, but I shut the door. I shut the door behind me. I shut the door behind me. Mother, I am home. You can see a resemblance in the long black hair, and and the kind of the slug-like eyes. I believe they were described in the last part. Stray hair clinging to her pale cheek. While she reads, I am proud to have adopted similar features, but my beauty pales. Get it? Pales? Eh? Mother continued to read as if she had not heard my call. She always lives at her own pace, like a free spirit should, so all I can do is exercise patience. Mother finishes one more page, then at last she slips her bookmark and Tayo! Her every move exudes elegance, as if time itself must slow down to match her grace. This is the form of beauty I yearn for. Welcome home, Mother says. Her deep, almost masculine voice does not fit her demeanor, but it certainly commands attention. I show Mother the rabbit in my hand. Is this acceptable? Your skills will soon surpass mine. I still have much to learn. You came back rather late. Did you run into trouble? Oh, I lost track of time, Mother. My apologies. As Mother strides towards me, I fear she may have detected my lie. She is so perceptive, I sometimes wonder if she can read minds. Worry not, Ramonia, as I happen to be a crafty liar. Most kids would fidget under Mother's stare, but I gaze into her eyes without a twitch. Mother reaches towards me and I brace myself for a slap across the face. No matter how clever I am, I still do not stand a chance against Mother's brilliance. Jeez, some kind of weird lesbian Odysseus complex here. Not Odysseus. Opidius? Opidius? Right, you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, well, I don't know if you should. But it's good. Greek mythology. It's important, I guess. Twig is off my hair. I've prepared a bath for you. Go wash yourself before your archery lesson. Thank you, Mother. What a relief. It seems I should feel remorse for my lies, but it's such a thrill to outsmart Mother. Hopefully she too can take pride in her daughter's wits. I dump my rabbit in the kitchen and head to the backyard. As usual, a barrel of water has been prepared for my sake. Not sake. Big old barrel if you're drinking sake. Mother often reminds me to check for perverts. Oh no, she's onto us. So I glance around to make sure the coast is clear. It is, and I strip out of my clothes. The water spills as I dip my foot into the barrel. This water is freezing, but Mother says cold baths can soften my skin, so I bite my lip and plunge right in. I wonder if these, like, am I only one noticing, like, rhyming? I think that's, like, a specific choice, stylistic choice upon the author to make it, you know, present the character of Tayo as, like, very upstanding, like, very literate, you know. Poetry has been a very large part of traditional Japanese culture, so by having the traditional Japanese styled character have dialogue or writing that rhymes, do you think that helps enforce the ideas behind that? Maybe I've spent too long shivering inside my barrel, but when Mother steps out into the backyard, I force myself to step in. Wow, that was a spike. This is a chance to prove to me I can overcome any challenge. As Mother scrubs dirt off my arms, I peek at her slender fingers and perfect nails. She is also an archer, yet, unlike me, her hands are smooth and free of blisters. Like, are they super calloused? Or does she just have gloves? No matter how hard I look at Mother, I cannot find a single blemish. This only mounts more pressure on me to carry on her legacy. You see, originally I thought she was some kind of, like, geisha? With the focus on her pale beauty, but, like, I'm not overly familiar with the culture of geishas, and I didn't think they would be, like, archers. Part of the reason I assumed she was a geisha, a lady, was because there's yet no father character introduced. Now, it's very early on in the introduction of Tayo's home life, but, you know, being like working in a brothel would be an excuse for not having a father figure, as the parent might not be known. I climb on the bell and retreat inside to wipe myself dry. When Mother attempts to follow, I brush her hand. Please allow me. Mother honors my request, and I stay behind to give me space. As I slip my clothes on, I urge myself not to show weakness in her presence. Okay, here we go. What I was just bringing up, making me look like a fool. Pay Father your respects before you head out, Mother says. A painting of Father hangs on the far wall. Mother painted it based on her memory of him, which proves yet again she is gifted in every craft imaginable. I light 3 incense sticks and present them to the painting. Father perished when I was a baby, so I have no memories of him to latch onto. Besides, I am skeptical when it comes to spirits, but if it pleases Mother, I am happy to oblige. And yet you believe in birdlings, eh? The sun descends as Mother and I step out into the village. As we cross the bridge, I spot an old lady by the river. She always comes out at this hour to feed the fish. This river is the icon of our village, but so much chimney smoke around, the water will not stay clean forever. Do you get this kind of an environmental message going on? I kind of feel like that. I don't know, like, Tayo, I guess, represents, she doesn't represent culture, like societal progress and all that. At the same time, you know, because she seems to be like, oh, all this living against nature is bad, which is what role I would have expected of the Birdling Bimonia to fulfill. But maybe that's for an antagonistic role, to be like the against environment, against nature kind of character. It's an interesting idea. I glimpse a trail of burrows hiding behind a fruit stand. These kids spy on me almost every day, so I am used to it. They will never recognize I can see them from a mile away. When I grimace at the brats, they scatter off like flies. Boys can be such a mystery sometimes. A mystery I have no interest in solving. Ooh. Is that this kind of book? Visual novel? Woman with cropped hair jogs towards us with a basket of apples in her arms. She is here to speak with Mother again, and no doubt. Where did apples come from? Just trying to think, you know, if apples were introduced in a certain time period to Japan, it might give hints into what year this is. Because I feel like they weren't native to Japan. Because in none of like really old animes, I can remember seeing apples in particular. I know like persimmons and oranges were at least introduced sometime early, because I believe those came from China. But apples, like, yeah, I don't know their geographical location, origin, let's say. Mother smiles. Apples and sides have either splattered or rolled away. Man, those are some weak apples if they splatter. Thank heavens you are not hurt. Forgive me, Aaron. The lady wipes her teary eyes. I wanted to offer you these apples, but oh, why must I be so clumsy? Mother, or Aaron as the villagers call her, clasped the woman's hands. Your thought warmed my heart enough. Maybe this is some Yuri girls' love novel, which I'm completely okay with. Mother resumes to stroll towards the archery school. I follow her and leave this woman behind to swoon over her idol's words. Mother and I arrive outside the archery school. The wind chimes jingle as she pushes the door open. There's Mother, there's me. Inside, I step inside and find my classmates have started the lesson without me. Arrows whistle one by one towards those targets lined up along the far end of the hall.